Give everybody a few seconds to roll in and see if we can get this horse out the barn. Make some adjustments here. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Sapphire Ridge News, where we talk about conservative politics, lawfare, and current events. I did a stream on Sunday about Jay-Z and this new lawsuit against him with regard to the assault of a 13-year-old girl. Well, yesterday there come out some new info, and hey, JR, and it's pretty disturbing. This 13-year-old girl wanted to go. This happened back in 2000, and this one of her bucket lists was go to the Video Music Awards in New York. And so she went, and she could not get in, and she ended up talking to Diddy's limo driver, and he told her that Diddy liked girls young and that she would be just his type, and she did not understand what that meant. And so he told her, just wait here, and gave her the time to be there, and said that he would come back and pick her up. Well, he came back and picked her up, and he took her to the after party, which was at a house, which I presumed was Diddy's house. And now, mind you, she's 13. Immediately when she walks out in the door, they make her sign a non-disclosure agreement at 13. She did not understand what she was signing or what it meant, and they did not give her a copy of what she signed. They gave her a drink. She's 13. They gave her an alcoholic drink. And she said that she started to feel woozy, and so she seen a hallway and went down the hallway and found a bedroom with just a bed in it and no other furniture. So she laid down on the bed and said it wasn't a few minutes. It wasn't a few minutes, and in came Diddy and Jay-Z and a female celebrity. And according to the report, Jay-Z assaulted her first, and then Diddy, and Diddy wanted her to perform the O word, and she fought back and she punched him in the neck, and said when she did, he stood back, and she took the opportunity to grab her clothes, her dress, and held it in front of her like a towel and ran out of the house. On her way out, she passed dozens and dozens of celebrities and other adults, and no one offered to help her. No one offered to help her. She said she got outside and she got her dress back on, and she walked to a gas station and had her dad come and pick her up. And she apologized to her dad because she had lied about where she was going, and said that since this happened in 2000, that she is um, more reclusive in nature. She shuns herself from society, and that she's had much trouble with relationships, and it just looks really bad. And then Jay-Z says, well, I never did that. That never happened, blah, blah, blah. And then tried to attack her lawyer, which that's never smart. You don't attack somebody's lawyer. You don't attack somebody's lawyer. You know, her lawyer sent a standard settlement letter to Jay-Z, and offering that if they wanted to settle, that his name would be kept off of the lawsuit, which Jay-Z, instead of you know trying to work with him, attacked him. So now her lawyer says, okay, you know had had Jay-Z added to the full lawsuit along with a female celebrity, and it's just a big deal now, a big mess. It's a big mess now, where it wasn't before. Her lawyer did the right thing by offering a settlement to keep his name off of the lawsuit. Hey, laugh. Um, he offered, her lawyer offered to keep his name out of it. And what blows my mind is that, this girl was 13, and she was invited to this after party. And any of you that have daughters, teach them, do not sign anything. When she got to the after party, they had her sign a non-disclosure agreement at 13. She did not understand what she was signing. She said, I did not understand what it was, what it meant. I just know in order for me to stay at the after party that I had to sign it or leave. And, this kind of stuff irritates me because, some are saying, well, where were her parents? Where were the adults at the after party to look after this 13-year-old girl? There were dozens and dozens of adults. And after the assault happened, she said she ran from the place through the crowd of people with no clothes on, just her dress clutched in front of her like a towel, and no one offered to help her. No one. No one offered to help her. That's where I come down on this. You know, they're trying to attack the girl and her parents, and how could they let this happen? No, no. There were adults there that saw her running through the place with no clothes on, clutching her dress in front of her, and no one offered to help her. Even though this was 24 years ago, still no one offered to help that young girl. So I get irate on stuff like that. So here's what happened according to the lawsuit, the factual account. She wanted to go to the VMA Awards in New York. She got there and they would not let her in. And she ended up talking to a couple of limo drivers, and one of them happened to be Diddy's limo driver. And he told her that Diddy liked girls young and that she was his type. She had no idea or understanding what any of that meant. And the limo driver told her to wait there and that he would be back in a few minutes and he would take her to the after party. And so the limo driver came back and took her to the after party where they gave her an alcoholic drink, which had GHB in it. And she said within a few minutes of drinking it, she felt woozy. And so she walked down this hallway and found a room with just a bed in it and no other dresser or nothing like that, no other furniture. And that's where the assault happened. But it's just, people are trying to attack her. It's this whole stupid thing of blame the victim, which is a bunch of BS, you know. Or one of the things that I read last night was that they're trying to, say what kind of parents did she have to let her go and do that? Well, it comes out in the factual account that she lied to her dad and told him that she was going somewhere else and that she had to call him and have him come and pick her up and had to explain what all had happened and that she apologized to her dad for doing that. So don't blame her. She's the victim. Don't victim blame. That's my whole thing. Yeah, kids lie, you know. And yeah, the teenager lied to her dad about where she was going. But she did, after the assault happened, she did call him and came clean and told him where she was and what had happened. And he went and got her. So don't sit there and blame the parents when she did not tell the parents the truth. But then again, don't blame her for being assaulted. That that's totally wrong. That's like, when I was in my 20s, I'm 65. Well, her lawyer contacted Jay-Z's lawyer and offered to leave his name out of it, just a standard settlement letter. And Jay-Z attacked her lawyer, which was not smart. When someone lawyer contacts you, you don't sit there and call the lawyer bad names and I'll never settle. And you don't know who you're dealing with now. Typical Hollywood BS. It's just very revolting and disgusting that these Hollywood celebrities think they can just do whatever they want. And right, right, Zach, because, you know, kids and teens are not mature. Your brain doesn't mature until you're like 20 years old. She was 13, and I'm not going to sit here and blame her or blame her parents because this was a thing that was on her bucket list to go to the BMA Awards, and she was trying to get inside, and that Diddy's driver, you know, I say he was an accomplice in this because he told her that Diddy likes him young and this and that and the other, and that she was his perfect type and blah blah blah. And that's all wrong. It's all wrong. You know, when I was in high school, they had this false opinion going on that if a girl got assaulted, that it was her fault because of what she wore or something. That's not right. I never thought that, but that's what went around, you know, and can't blame the victim for what the attacker does. And hey, Exotic, welcome. It's just disturbing that this girl was 13 and at an after party and she got assaulted and her clothes removed and she was running through the party with her dress clutched in front of her and not one single adult offered to help her. Not one. Hey, JR, tell Rose I said happy birthday. Go go enjoy your time with Rose. It's it's just disturbing that no one there offered to help her. You know, she's a 13-year-old girl at a house party, and she said she ran through the after party with no clothes on, her dress clutched in front of her like a towel, and not one single person of the dozens and dozens there offered to help her. I find that disturbing, even though this happened in 2000 still. in in the factual account, it says that when Diddy and Jay-Z and the female celebrity walked in, she says, I immediately knew who each one of them was. She immediately knew. Now, um, shout out to Classy Beats. Um, he did a stream on this yesterday, and he looked up who uh, Diddy's girlfriend was at the time. Her His girlfriend at the time was J Lo, and um, his and Jay Z's girlfriend at the time uh, was Aaliyah, which, if I understand the chronology, Aaliyah died like a year later. So it could be that's why they have not talked to the female celebrity yet, because if it's Aaliyah and she passed away, they can't talk to her. But it's just so disturbing that this happened. And instead of, you know, us as adults trying to um, be on the side of the victim like we should, we're blaming the victim. We're blaming the victim's parents. The victim is never at fault. The victim is never at fault. We need to stop victim blaming, you know. And she did come clean that after it happened, called her dad, told her dad what happened, and would he please come get her? And he went right and got her from the gas station nearby. And the affidavit from the clerk at the gas station verifies that came in looking all frantic and disheveled and offered to let her use the phone to call for help. That all goes in her favor, you know. It just very disturbing that, well, I need to rephrase that. See, I've heard about Hollywood and their child problem, I'll put it that way, for decades. The limo driver was complicit. The limo driver took her to the party to get assaulted. The limo driver took her to the party. And it's, you know, you hear these stories in Hollywood all the time where Hollywood preys on the child stars, is the way it's put. But there's parties like this that happen in Hollywood all the time, all the time. And, you know, shout out to actor Kevin Sorbo. He said he has a list of names that he's going to go public with the names next year. The people who throw these parties, that purposely invite minors to be the, how can I word this? The entertainment for the evening, we'll put it that way. The assault entertainment for the evening. And that's right, Zach. They're sick. But we have to remember that Jay-Z and Diddy and that whole crowd, they came. Kevin. Who's Kevin? No. See, Kevin, he has said that he's coming forward because he's sick of hearing about these parties and that Hollywood needs to be cleaned up. And he's he's got his own film entertainment group. Um, so he doesn't have to worry about it harming his career because he owns his own film studio. And, you know, it's just many of these Hollywood stars are corrupted like this when there are minors, these child stars are corrupted. They're made what I will term playthings for the adults. And it's just disgusting. And every time we watch a movie, we unknowingly maybe support that unless we do our due diligence and check out the producer and the director and the stars that are in it and stuff like that. Yeah, they're part of a counterculture is right. It's just disturbing that we have this going on in our day and age. And instead of offering to help the victim, they're wanting to blame the victim, which is not right. It's just so disturbing that we have this going on in our society. Well, that's what I have for y'all today. Um, I'm working on something for Thursday. I will be off tomorrow. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. So thank you all for coming. I love you guys and take care. Bye now.